Angela surely knows. Carrie Jimmy's been on with me, Alicia Guard. Like I've just been talking to we call ourselves our machetes. I've been talking to so many people, but I've been through every emotion from, anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, feeling that, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs. But in the end, where I really land and where I've landed on today is just gratitude. Just pure gratitude.
The Taylor Swifties, the Swifties.
Literally no one else is saying
like,
this.
You could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time.
Really?
I think that's still true. Also Latino men who, despite the utter disrespect shown by Trump and his promise to deport some of your mixed status families, most of them voted in a 55% majority to make the deportations happen. Y'all voted with Stephen Miller and David Duke and against your own sisters and chose Kamala Harris with 60% of their votes. So you own everything that happens to your mixed status families and to your wives, sisters, and abuelas from here on in. Make your own sandwiches, wipe your own tears, troll amongst yourselves with Elon, and leave us alone. We don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey. Get over it. Sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
But also that my show had value.
No.
And that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value.
Get over it. Stop acting like we owe you, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Our Thanksgiving. Our choice. Your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches, wipe your own tears, troll amongst yourselves with Elon, and leave us alone. We don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey. Get over it. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon, and leave us alone. We trolling while we eat our tofurkey. Get over it. Stop acting like we owe you, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's
but also that my show had value.
No.
And that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I said this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did.
But in America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, green waterworks.
Ron DeSantis has been waging a full-scale war against the Black past. It's illegal to make white people feel uncomfortable in Florida. You also have the restrictions in schools over what can be taught about race and gender, for fear white children might feel bad when they find out that not all white people in history were heroes. Do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence? These Republicans are dangerous. They're dangerous to our national security, because stoking that kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hard. From the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want, a Black person got it, therefore drive all the Blacks out of the colleges. They're just voting specifically on racial animus. At this stage, it isn't about economics.
They want to turn every state into their white Christian nationalist hell. It's DEFCON 1, y'all. Take action.
That is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza, and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object to have a right to object to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God.
Having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election. Meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely, a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, and foments extravagant corruption in order to enrich the dictator and his friends.
And this aggressive Thanksgiving message.
People who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants, like the Pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions, right? They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally, so if they get deported, consequences. But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus. And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way.
So it's no surprise that Joy...
Gratitude. And gratitude, not just because people would take the time to get on a call like this, or to take care of me, but also that my show had value. That what I was doing had value. And in the end, I try not to cry on TV. When I say this, it's kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I think Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where the moment of guilt that I, not just Black folks or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country, and the fact that we as the Americans, where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood. I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I